Hey guys, and welcome to Gwent, the Witcher card game. My name is Jaggerous, and today I have a rather silly Nilfgaard deck for you guys, and that is the Letho Fringilla deck. And this isn't a deck I would recommend taking into ranked because it's quite difficult to navigate, and there are a lot of cards that people play which counter it, so it can be a little bit problematic in that regard. But the gist of this deck is that we have our good friend Letho, and we also have our good friend Fringilla. And what Fringilla does is when you play her, she sets the power of the unit on the right to that of the unit on the left. So what we basically want to do here is we want to try and get our opponent to pass on the first round. And once our opponent has passed, we're going to basically have one card that's buffed quite a lot. And the way we're going to buff it is with ambassadors. When you play these, it boosts an ally by 10. So then we'll buff up a card, and then we'll combat engineer it, which means that it gets kept on the board till the next round. So we've got a buffed up card, and we combat engineer it. Then we play Fringilla next to it, so the card adjacent to it then also gains that big buff, and we can also combat engineer that card as well. So then we have two very powerful cards on the board. And yes, you're going to be going into card disadvantage because you're going to be doing this after your opponent has passed. But then that should win you the first round. And then on the second round, you have those two cards that have been carried over, and you can then play Letho of Gullet, or Goulet, or whatever his name is, to protect them. So you then play Letho, and you play him, and basically he banishes two units to either side of this unit and boosts the unit by their power. So you can then suck their power into him and kind of protect it under their gold. And the reason I don't think this deck is amazing is because it is countered by, regularly played cards like Dimmertim Shackles. You can use that to demote Letho, for example, which means he loses his gold and he becomes targetable. Because the idea is once you've got Letho out there, you then pass and your opponent has to play lots of cards to kind of catch you up. Similarly, Dimmertim Bomb. Choose 3 adjacent units and reset them. If they are gold, demote them first. So this will basically straight counter this strategy. And again, that's a card that you do see people running. So this is why I don't necessarily recommend it in ranked, but it is a really fun deck to play. So in terms of the cards that we're going to be buffing, you could, for example, have two Nausicaa Standard Bearers next to each other. These you can play on any row. They also give you the added benefit of weather clear and adding some points, but you could have these. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using our emissaries, draw the top 2 bronze units from your deck, play one and shuffle the others back to kind of try and find the different cards. And then once we have some emissaries out and maybe some ambassadors, we can use our vicavaro novices to trigger the ability of a spying enemy ambassador or emissary. So then to basically re-trigger their ability and start buffing 2 adjacent cards. We also have Joachim Dvet, play the top loyal bronze or silver unit in your deck, so we can use this to basically find Van Hamar or Combat Engineer, Vicavaro Novice, or Nausicaa Standard Bearer, and he'll then boost them as well. So that's, drop cards that draw the cards and help thin your deck. We have Fringilla, who will need to obviously trigger the combo. We have a Cantarella, draw the top card from your deck, keep it or place it at the bottom of your deck and draw the next 2 cup cards, so we can use this to try and find Letho or Fringilla. We can also actually target draw Fringilla with Rainfawn. Rainfawn, play a bronze or silver disloyal unit from your deck and shuffle the others back, so we can use him to find the cards that we need. Similarly, we have Alzur's Double Cross. Alzur's Double Cross will pull Cantarella, which will help us then draw a card. And if we've already got Cantarella, we can use Alzur's Double Cross to pull Fringilla. We have Decoy, which we can use on a Combat Engineer or a Vicavaro Novice to re-trigger their effect. We have Van Hamar, Spawn, Biting Frost, Clear Skies, or Stammelford Tremors. Then we have our leader ability. Look at the top 3 cards in your deck, play one, and the others remain on top. So we can use this to find the cards that we may need, along with Cahir, who triggers your leader ability a second time. And then last but not least, we have Tibor, which we can use if our opponent somehow manages to catch us up in round 2. Then for round 3, we've got Tibor as a win condition, basically. So it's kind of nice in that regard. Anyway, guys, if you like this deck, hit that thumbs up button. And without further ado, I'm going to jump into a casual game and showcase this crazy deck in action.
The gate must be secure.
I shall not repeat Emir's mistakes.
Okay, so we're up against Unseen Elder, which means Consume. The problem with Consume is they can get quite a lot of points on the board, and that can be kind of risky for us. I'm going to mulligan at least one of our Combat Engineers. There's Letho, who we really want. We've got 2 Vicavaro Novices, which is nice. We have Joachim, Fringilla, Tibor, and we have Alzur's Double Cross to find the cards we need. I'm going to get rid of 1 Vicavaro Novice, because we can find him later. And probably this Nausicaa Standard Bearer as well, because we only really need 1 to set up next to, the cards that we want to be playing, basically. Opponent's turn. Okay, so we have Harpies. I'm going to play my John Calvé, Vicavaro Neves, Cantarella, or Standard Bearer. We'll go Cantarella, which does actually mean that our our mirror's going to pull, I think, a Nausicaa Standard Bearer now. We'll pop this out.
No one can hide from me.
Do I want a vicavaro novice? Yeah, sure, why not? I have everything I need to make my combo, so taking the vicavaro novice here is fine. I'd rather take it and then be able to do the extra buffing, basically. So basically here we're looking to make some low tempo plays and allow this person to kind of encourage them to pass. The problem is obviously we have card advantage. So going second actually is a little bit harmful because it means that, you know, he's not ahead. There's the Ekamara. What was I going to do here? So if I combat engineer the 4, the problem is they might kill the 4, but then I can always decoy the combat engineer. So again, we're just going for low tempo plays to try and encourage our opponent to pass. He's got about 20 points on me. And the thing is, he is likely to pass because, you know, he's starting to get ahead now. So he probably feels, you know, fairly confident in that regard. I'm going to play the Elsa's Double Cross. Pull out the other Nausicaa. We'll pop him here, basically. And buff this one. Because this is the one I think we're going to go for. I'm guessing Harpy on the right of the Brown Warrior. I do want our opponent to pass. So I'm hoping that that happens. There it is. Okay, so that was an easy enough pass to get, fortunately for us. I don't really want to be giving him ambassadors to eat, so we're going to be a little bit cautious about where we put these. The other problem, actually, now that I see, is that we don't have an emissary, so we can't thin as much as we would like. But what we'll do is start buffing this guy, and we can decoy the combat engineer and use the Nausicaa Standard Bearer as our second target, so that's good. Or the vicavaro novice, doesn't really matter. So there's one of those. And one more.
Of course, as you wish, master.
37. So we would have quite a few points, I think. So let's decoy you. Put you back out. Lock this one into the Fringilla.
My magic, as if it were
And into the pass. I mean, we could have gone for Joachim and tried to do some more things, but I think all in all, I'm kind of happy with this. So we win the round, which is nice. We go into the next round, and we have to then hope that obviously our opponent doesn't have. I'm actually kind of happy with this hand. I guess we could get rid of the vicavaro novice. Yeah, that's good. It would have been nice to have, you know, him more emissaries so we could get more vicavaro novices, but we'll go for the Letho play here. So we're now on 81, and then this is where we pass, basically, and our opponent plays catch-up. I mean, we could try and go all in on him, and play, you know, Rain Fawn and all that, these kind of cards, but I think all in all, I'm okay with this. So I guess he's looking for Griffin, potentially, because he's looking in my graveyard, thinking what he wants to have. And we didn't quite get as much chaining as we would have liked with the emissaries and stuff, because we didn't find enough of them. So when you're mulliganing, obviously prioritize emissaries over ambassadors. Because you can use the emissary to find the ambassador, you can't use the ambassador to find the emissary. What is that, decoy? Or consume? Necker. Okay. Catch 81. Oh, he rallied a Necker. That's got to be awkward. Into a bear. I don't really feel like this person's deck is top tier, just to point that out. But I mean, like I say, this deck is very easily countered, so I don't really think the deck I'm playing is top tier either, so this is kind of fine. Right, can you get 21 points in Sorry, wait, 40 points. 40 points in 2 cards. 41 points in 2 cards. If not, we have card advantage. He's probably going to Ekamara, this is the only problem. And end up with like a really fat unit that gets kept till the next round. And this does mean he'll draw a gold or a silver going into the next turn. This is the one problem with, obviously, like a matchup like Consume, where you let them do their own thing for a long time. It can be quite costly. Oh, what are you going to eat? If he gains 4, it's a Nausicaa. Otherwise, it'll be a Ambassador or a... That was 2. It was an Ambassador. Okay, we're still ahead, so that's good. If he consumes with his leader ability, he would gain... He wouldn't actually gain that many points. He'd gain 6 and 5, so that's not enough. Oh, he forfeited. Maybe he couldn't catch me. Oh, well. Well, that is GG. So I'm going to jump into another game, guys, and I'll showcase this deck in action once more for you.
You've got the heart of an uncrate.
Onward, sons of Nilfgaard!
Okay, so up against the Crack and Crate Skellige this time around. Bears can be a little bit of a pain in terms of setting up your units to buff, because they obviously end up killing a lot of your units, which, you know, is not fun. We don't need all of these ambassadors to begin with. There is another vicavaro novice. We can probably actually go with 1 fewer Fringilla, and then I think I'm going to get rid of the Nausicaa. Nausicaa! We've got Fringilla and Letho, so we have everything that we need. We didn't get any emissaries, though. So that's what we're definitely going to be looking for when we go with our John Calvé play. So again, like, he's going first, but we don't want that. We would rather they went first. Hopefully, you know, he gets a lot of points, though, and then he's happy to pass. Ooh, this is not a great situation for us, because Axemen are a pain in the ass, but... let's play John Calvé into... Ooh, we can choose Joachim, Cahir, or Combat Engineer. If we Cahir, we can then pull Joachim. I'm looking for an emissary. Like, just give me an emissary. Cantarella, but I can target draw Cantarella. So let's take this and give him some points. Oh, now is not the time for a 12 strength combat engineer. God damn it, game.
Barbarians.
I have to lock one of his cards. There you go. Enjoy. Keep your 5.
For blood!
I think this is where we go for Cantarella. He's going to be targeting our combat engineer. So I'm hoping we can just get him to pass, potentially. Here is 12 points. I will put them
I
here.
shall be your eyes, my lord.
Emissary I will have. And that goes in my hand, which is nice. So now he's 28 points to our 19. The problem is, obviously, he's going to start damaging us. But we kind of want to let that happen. I'll probably play the Axemen as the next play, as a kind of low-tempo play, basically. And potentially we play it in the frost such that it dies.
For blood!
He can maybe think that's a misplay, but I'm really, like I say, I'm trying to help his Axemen a little bit so that he will pass. Because we'll expect to see it. Oh, there's the shackles. That's so good for us. That is super, super good for us. Okay, time to try and find a Nausicaa.
Your humble servant.
There's one. I feel like I have to clear the weather because, like, otherwise, what does he expect me to do? Unless we don't clear the weather and he thinks that I don't know what I'm doing. I think we have to clear the weather. Also, because I need 2 units next to each other, we'll buff this Axeman. Oh, not Axeman, Combat Engineer. There's more weather. So it goes 3-2-1 this way, basically, in terms of how it damages units. So we'll put this over this end.
Now, how
Into
did
an
that
emissary.
conversation go?
Into an ambassador.
Nice, Ted up to.
I think we have to buff this unit. Even though he's taking like 2 damage per turn, which is fine. I guess we could go for Van Hamar and just clear the weather. The problem is I obviously want him to get ahead, but I don't want him to get too far ahead, and I don't really want this to get hit much more. But I don't want an ambassador. And I don't want a combat engineer just yet, because I think that's too risky. I think we have to remove the weather.
Show me what you've got.
And go for that clear skies. Hey, that's a nice play. Tremors is fine. Honestly, I just want you to pass. Like, can you just pass? Like, maybe I play my combat engineer and try and encourage the pass. I think if I play combat engineer, he'll probably pass. But if I lock the 19, he's going to be suspicious, so maybe I have to lock the 1. But if I lock the 1, then he kills it, then we have a problem. So I think we have to lock the 19s. Because I think the 1 looks too suspicious if I lock it. Come on, pass. You've got 20-odd points on me. Because the thing is, in this situation, the number of points he has is definitely easy to catch up. And there's Stamel for Tremors again. Oh, he killed my combat engineer. That is feckin' awkward. Right.
Of course, as you wish, master.
We'll go Ambassador.
Hail, Kerzer!
Come on, you can pass. You need a win condition for the next round. Otherwise, I'm just draining all of his cards. So the problem here is I actually need a second target to buff. So I think what we do is we go for this into Emissary and try and find the Nausicaa Standard Bearer. We'll squeeze him in there. And buff this one. I know he's got another Axeman in hand. Like, what is this guy? How does this guy intend to win the next round? This is what I don't understand. Whatever. I mean, this guy didn't... I don't understand. He just kind of went all in. But he doesn't have a win condition for the next round. So I'm going to have quite a few points. Let me work this out. I can decoy the Nausicaa Standard Bearer, which will fix it and buff me up to 30... How many is this? 3. So that'll be 40. So I'd have 40 and 40 is 80. 83, 86. It might be worth going for, to be honest, because this guy has nothing for the next round. Like, what is your win condition? Oh, I feel so bad for him. So then Fringilla comes out, that becomes a 40, I win the round. We pass. He's just like, what has happened? You can see him mousing over like, what just happened? But this guy doesn't have a win condition for a second round. He went all in on this round, doesn't have a win condition for the next round. And I'm basically keeping 40 points. You get 5. Congratulations. This is where we draw a combat engineer, Rainfawn, and Emissary. We'll mulligan the Emissary because we can pull it with Rainfawn. And there's the forfeit. That guy, I just think, just didn't know what he was doing, to be honest. But hopefully you guys got a flavor of how this deck works. It is a bit of a weird one, but the thing is, if they have Shackles, you did use that early on, then they could just Shackles your Letho, or if they have Dimmer Tin Bomb, you're quite easily countered. But I think it's quite a fun deck to navigate. It's a bit different, and I think it's good to have different decks to kind of play around with. But let me know what you guys think of the deck in the comments below. If you want to see me play anything in particular, again, let me know in the comments below. If you want to catch me live streaming, you can find me on twitch.tv/Jaggerous, and my Twitter is @Jaggerous. I'll have links to both of those, again, in the description. Yeah, thanks for watching. Have a fantastic day, and hopefully I'll catch you guys next time. Subscribe, maybe? Bye!